Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and it has reached the point where so many people have actually requested SidAlpha t-shirts, I have decided to oblige. For an indeterminate period of time, you can get your own SidAlpha t-shirt, sweater, or hoodie over at teespring.com/SidAlpha. Link is in the description below. Nothing says taking pride in something more than advertising it to the world and wearing it on your body, so get your very own SidAlpha OG logo shirt now. Ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha. What with all of the controversies and depressing news within the gaming industry as of late, I thought it would be about time to take a moment to report on something that I actually enjoy. The current game on your screen is called Fight Night, night being spelled, of course, with a K. This game, as basic as it might seem, I've found to be immensely satisfying with intuitive and well-implemented combat mechanics as well as a simple yet fun story to help prop it up. The game has you playing as the Fight Knight, who is some form of gladiatorial weapons master who is on a quest to conquer the Tower, a structure that magically appears and disappears, moving from location to location and consuming the land it appears out of. However, for some reason, the Fight Knight does not make use of any weapons, and I'm sure that will be explained further down the line in the story, but I would guess it's some form of curse. The story is uncomplicated. The characters are fun and humorous without being over the top, and the game, while it certainly doesn't take itself too seriously, maintains the concept of a game that is inspired by retro mechanics, but seems to not contain the vast majority of myriad pitfalls that typically comes with retro-inspired games. And this game can easily be held up as an example of Kickstarter game done right. With equal parts dungeon crawler and button-mashing brawler, this game actually managed to draw me in with its simple animations and easy-to-pick-up controls and gameplay. I found it to be reasonably uncomplicated, but immensely satisfying. The Kickstarter itself was surprising in how they decided to design it. There were no stretch goals being listed, as the developers seemed to understand the idea of scope creep, and the requested amount was exceptionally reasonable at $10,000, just enough to allow them to concentrate on developing the game full-time as opposed to in their spare time. They have even gone so far as to provide a free demo of the game to try out and see if you're interested, which is what you're seeing now. We've seen so often with games, and especially Kickstarters, that so many developers try and promise the world with their games and stretch goals, only to find out later that they had no idea how to implement those promised features, or that they simply ran out of money trying to figure it out. Then we also have games like Star Citizen that suffer scope creep to the point that many feel the game will never actually enter a full release. These developers seem to recognize those traps and potential pitfalls and have only asked for what they needed to be able to craft their game in a timely fashion. No more and no less. Of course, as a result of all of this, the game's Kickstarter has been a resounding success, currently sitting at nearly 3 times their original goal. For my part, I thought I would showcase both the game and the developer's example in how they have conducted themselves, in the hope that, of course, to increase visibility for what I consider to be a very good game with a ton of charm, but also for other would-be games developers to take note that you don't need grandiose promises and endless stretch goals to help entice people. Sometimes all you need is a little honesty, a touch of charm, and above all else, a good game. As such, I am preemptively placing these developers into the Diamond Devs category on my channel, and Fight Night is a game well worth trying out for yourself, as the demo is freely available on their Kickstarter page, a link to which will be in the description down below, and at the very least, this game will be well worth keeping an eye out for when it's released. As always, please do let me know what you think down in the description below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am SidAlpha, and I'll see you next time.